Throughout history, different cultures and societies have existed and prospered under the banner of certain themes that were important to them. For the Romans, it was government and order, and for the Soviet Union, it was unity and control. We assume these ideas based on the interpretations of artifacts that have been left behind, which give us clues as to what life was like during those times and in those places. In relation to the Moche, we know that the themes such as death and warfare were central aspects of their culture because of the artifacts that were found at the site and the remains of bodies found in the tombs. Through the excavation of the Sipan Tombs, we have unveiled themes surrounding the Moche that were sacred to their culture, themes such as death and warfare. The Sipan Tombs contain the richest burial ever excavated anywhere in the Western Hemisphere. Evidently, this massive wealth was an indication of the Moche's emphasis on this burial and what traditions it highlights. The main bodies that the Sipan Tombs commemorate are figures from the sacrifice scene, which is an integral aspect of Moche culture. This scene worshipping death and the sacrifice of enemies shows up on numerous works and artifacts commemorating an ancient ritual which sacrificed captured enemies and gave their blood to the celebrated warrior priest figure. Evidence points to the idea that this scene was not just fiction but depicted rituals that actually occur, further emphasizing death, warfare, and sacrifice. This scene was so prevalent in their culture and is encompassed by the artifacts and bodies that were added to the Sipan Tombs. The warrior priest, who was the focal figure in the sacrifice scene, was buried in the first tomb of Sipan. Because of this figure's importance, this tomb has become the main focus of most archaeologists' excavations. However, besides the priest, there were other bodies that were buried with him, which highlight the theme of sacrifice. The bodies that were buried in this tomb mostly had age of death estimations that were well below the average in this time period, and thus point to the idea of them being sacrificed to accompany the warrior priest to his grave as servants. This highlights the theme of sacrifice and afterlife, because by doing this, the Moche acknowledged the existence of an afterlife and stressed its importance by providing servants to important individuals. Not only servants, but wives and concubines were sacrificed to keep a constant transition from the warrior priest's living life to the afterlife. The Moche give up and end living life to please those in the afterlife. This points to the afterlife's significance being greater than the living life. In the sacrifice scene, the main aspect that points to the actuality of the ritual is the depictions of the aluchu fruit. This fruit is important in analyzing culture because they have blood dilation properties, causing high blood pressure and easier blood flow. This makes the aluchu pertinent in sacrifice rituals. In the first Sipan tomb, banners worn by Moche elite were found and embossed on them were aluchu fruits. This emphasized the importance of sacrifice to the Moche elite and are a testament to their power. Other archaeological treasures that were included in the first tomb are the 3 exquisite ear ornaments. These ornaments were created after the death of the warrior priest and all celebrate his passing and transition to the afterlife. Each of these artifacts depicted different themes, and although all were created with immense detail, the most intricate and exquisite was the warrior-themed one. The extra detail on the warrior-themed ornament further shows the importance of warfare in Moche culture. The Sipan tombs commemorate an important aspect of Moche society and preserve the themes that they worshipped, death and warfare. Because of these themes, many of the Moche rituals involve sacrifice and honoring the afterlife. While these are gruesome, they truly embody the lifestyle and culture of this ancient people.